It's Migo! Back with another video, and we are in Chicago today, or in other words, Chirac, and are talking about the devil of Chirac. The why he told nigga, the nigga where the Demon King Von got the wings with O-Block tatted on his chest. Do your homework on Big Mike getting the O-Block tattoo with the two guns coming off it on his chest. This is why he's the devil of Chirac. Everyone knows King Von was the demon of Chirac. Big Mike got the guns on his shit and was one of his big homies that taught him everything he knew about the streets. How to move, how to rob, and how to kill. So if Von's the demon of Chirac, this nigga's the devil of Chirac, Big Mike. Pause. For the rest of this video, it's Mike, because no way am I calling a nigga big. That shit is gay as hell. Or you might even hear twerp, as that is his street name. No offense to the gay community, I love y'all. Moving on, Mike is also the big brother of Wooski, who is a known 63rd member who beefs O-Block, who in terms of bodies is near to King Von's, however. The difference is Wooski has been shot and hasn't spent most of his life in prison, while Von and Mike has never been shot but has shot at multiple people. Mike grew up in O-Block, Parkway Gardens, Wick City, which is all the same thing with different names. He has 5 brothers and 1 sister on his mom's side, and on his dad's side, he had 1 little brother and 2 sisters. All his brothers and sisters were bad as hell, and 2 of his brothers and 1 of sisters have died on the streets of Chicago as of today. This could be because Big Mike is the oldest brother, and when you're the older brother, you gotta set an example. Mike was setting the example for his siblings by doing a whole lot of bullshit where his family just followed suit. From a little boy, Mike has always been a bad kid, as everyone used to say to his mom, Deanne. Mike is in trouble. Her son just beat my son up, he's doing this, he's doing that. Soon as he reached middle school, he only got worse, with the school calling his parents every day, fighting every day, getting suspended for school almost every day. So he has been a menace from a young boy, giving the streets of Chirac hell, soon to become the infamous devil of Chirac. From the age of 13 is when he really jumped off the porch, as one of the older niggas in O-Block gave him a job. This was not a regular 9-to-5 job. No. Remember, Mike was only 13 at the time when one of the older niggas gave him a walkie-talkie and said, sit on top of O-Block and let them know when the boys in blue was pulling up. He would then get $50 a day, which for a 13-year-old almost 20 years ago was good, if you ask me. I wasn't making shit at 13, nor even thinking about making shit. I was probably still spinning Beyblades while he was spinning the block. Fast forward 3 years later, in the year 2009, Mike would then be arrested 6 times, with the last arrest being for armed robbery. Most of the times he was arrested was for breach of security, as you was not allowed in O-Block unless you was a resident there. What would happen is the security would snitch on the O-Blockians and police would come, get everyone out of there, and charge them for trespassing. For the armed robbery, Mike robbed a state trooper for their gun and $300. At the time, Mike didn't know it was a state trooper. However, once he found out, he then went to the rooftop to hide, as he knew police was coming. He was on the rooftop for about an hour watching the police scatter around O-Block trying to find him. Then one officer spotted Mike on the rooftop and instantly ran up there and threatened to shoot him if he didn't drop the weapon. Once he dropped the gun, they kicked his ass and charged him with armed robbery. This is when he first went to prison, where he would get 9 years, but because it's in Chicago, they take off 50% of your time, meaning he only had to do 4.5 years. Just 1 month into his sentence, he got transferred from Vandalia, which is a minimum facility, to Minarg, which is a maximum facility because of an altercation where Mike and his friend beat one of the ops up. As soon as he reached Minarg, one of the older niggas from O-Block put him on by providing protection, as he grew up with Mike's mom. Mike would then be getting on the ops' ass paws, moving up in the ranks in prison. In a short amount of time, he would be near the top of the ranks, as he was described as unpredictable. 1 minute Big Mike could be talking to you, the next minute he could be stabbing the fuck out you. Pause. He was in Division 9 his whole sentence and was so comfortable, no one played with him, even said himself he was smacking niggas in there every day. Also, with him getting out, now nobody has come out saying he was getting beat up in prison or bullied in any sort of way. With Mike being in jail with King Von was also smacking niggas. However, when someone was too big or he needed help, the first person he would run to was Mike, and he would come sort it out, which shows how much power he really had. Apparently, Mike had knives all throughout Division 9 and nearly got kicked off the deck as 051 Rockhead snitched on Mike, saying he had a knife in his cell. The reason 051 Rockhead snitched is because of a dice game where Mike lost and took his money back anyway, and because of who he was, nobody said anything. One of the only times where he got played with was when somebody told a story of Wooski when he first got shot in the head, dissing him, saying fuck Wooski right in front of Mike, with Wooski being Big Mike's little brother. Mike beat him for as long he could. Even the guards could not get him off. They had to end up spraying Mike with pepper spray and shoot the gun. When Mike first heard his brother got shot, he broke down in tears in front of other inmates, which is a weak thing to do, and a lot of people was shocked. But it shows no matter how savage you are when someone close to you dies, it can still cause sad moments like this. All four of Mike's younger brothers has been shot, including Jay, Shooter, and Lofsky, his two younger brothers also in the streets, excluding Wooski, and Mike is the only one out of his brothers that hasn't been shot, which he said he shoots first, which makes sense as the only brother on his level or past his level, as he's been locked up in terms of killings in Wooski. Another altercation he got in was when a man pulled a knife out on him and tried to swing it at him. But Mike grabbed his arm, and while he grabbed him, his other homie came and knocked the man with the knife out. After that, the lil niggas pulled down his pants and started spitting in his ass, which is also known as savage life in Cook County. That is one of the most sickening things I've ever heard that they do in these Chicago jails, even though I heard it classes as rape. So once it does happen, the prison officer has to tell your mom or whoever is close to you, like, look, your son has been raped, which then gets out to his local community, wherever he is, notifying everyone that you have been raped in jail, which is embarrassing, but that's another story. Through most of Mike's sentence, he had his family and his girl sending him money, his girl being the biggest help as she kept pushing him to push the appeal through, which helped him get released. King Von dying was another big reason he got released. At first, Mike couldn't believe Von died because he knew he was a killer and knew how he was. And a lot of niggas make up stories in jail. However, this was a blessing in disguise for him, as his appeal was not being taken seriously until King Von died, which pushed forward his appeal and him being released. Big Mike first met King Von playing baseball, where he would just see him around about the neighborhood. They didn't actually start connecting with each other until Von came out of jail. This is because OD died around these times, and they both knew what each other was on and planned out a hit to get back for OD. They also both had the same savage personality, where they wouldn't wait to see the ops pull up or see them on a random occasion. They would actively go out looking for them, whereas a lot of the Parkway members wasn't on that. They definitely was. Big Mike, being older and more respected at the time, was showing Von how to move and taking him under his wing, being a menace to society. This included stealing guns off older niggas when they see them stash one. They would go to where they stashed it when they're not looking and take it. Also stealing packs off whoever they saw, stash them also. Then he went to teach Von everything he needed to know about guns. He mentioned teaching Von and a few more of the younger Parkway members how to decoct pistols and cock pistols. Talking about younger Parkway members at the time, Big Mike also knew Chief Keef growing up. However, Chief Keef was just making music at the time and hadn't jumped off the porch, and when he did try to chill with Big Mike, OD, and the rest of them. But Mike told him to get up out of here, as he knew Chief Keef wasn't like Von at the time. The person Von and Big Mike allegedly killed was a man named Malcolm Stuckey on May 9th, 2014, and another who survived but got shot in the face that goes by the name of Marquise Comptonton, who's a GD from Gyro City. And finally, another victim by the name of Timothy Robinson, who was shot in the foot. This was on 57th on the South. Malcolm, who died, was a rival gang member but was still 1 foot in the streets and hadn't really done much but was a GD hanging with ops. How the day played out according to Mike's statement is that he got a call saying Vaughn needed backup at a party where some ops was, so they pulled up on the GDs together and first spotted Tim on a street near the party in an orange shirt. As soon as Tim saw Mike and Vaughn, Tim started shooting at them, then running. Vaughn started running him down while Tim was running away, shooting but missing Tim. Mike then caught up with Vaughn and started shooting, where he had ended up hitting Tim in the leg. Mike and Vaughn then pulled up at a party where he would bump into Marquise. Knowing he's a GD, Vaughn allegedly put a gun to him, but didn't do anything yet, and instead went to the basement to get ready to do a move on them. Marquise didn't leave the party after what Vaughn had done to him, but instead went just outside the house at the front, potentially waiting for Vaughn to come out. This is when Malcolm pulled up at the party ready to kill Vaughn. Not too long after, Vaughn came out the basement and out to the front of the house where everyone was at, including Marquise and Malcolm. Allegedly, Vaughn had his hoodie tied up and a gun in his hand, where he would run up on Marquise and Malcolm with a gun in his hand and start firing at both Marquise and Malcolm, hitting Marquise in his head and foot and killing Malcolm. This is what Mike told detectives had happened, which is very fishy, as he did not put himself at the scene until after they was killed. So I don't know how much I believe of that, as it sounded like Mike was trying to pin it on Vaughn, knowing they was at the party together. Mike didn't end up getting arrested for this until a few months later. At first, he got a call from one of King Von's girls, who was at the police station at the time she called Mike, saying they showed him a picture of him leaving the crime. Big Mike knew there wasn't any cameras at the scene and was confused on how he got wrapped up and why she was calling him at a police station. He then hung up the phone and started putting pieces together, coming to a conclusion that she was trying to get him to implicate himself on the phone to doing the shooting, as the officers was probably listening to the call. There was also a few more people from Von's side and some of Von's family members that mentioned Mike's name, blaming him for the murder. This is a big reason why Mike wrote a statement about King Von, as a lot of Von's peoples was trying to pin everything on him. However, King Von himself wouldn't say anything about Mike. This led them to start arguing, as Big Mike wrote a whole statement which implicated King Von a lot more than him, saying it was Von that shot and killed Malcolm, also hitting Marquise in the head, while he only shot at Tim, hitting his foot, which is a bitch thing to do, as the officers knew nothing about Von being at the scene. So when King Von did get wrapped up by police, he denied even being there, which led him to beat the case. Mike also retracted his statement, which also assisted in King Von in getting out. He retracted his statement after a conversation they had where it was either they both go to prison or one of them get out. So they thought of a plan where King Von put in his appeal saying that Mike did the shooting, as Mike already admitted to shooting Tim, which Mike had agreed on, so Von wasn't snitching, and the story made sense to the jury, which led to Von being acquitted of all charges and him being released from prison. Just before he got released, he told Von to leave his brother Wooski alone. Fast forward to Mike getting released from prison. He had done a DJU TV interview and is planning to release music. He has a preview of one of his tracks, which I will play, dissing Von and Lil Durk. Pause. Before I play the track, it's Durk from now on, as I am not calling another man little.
Damn, Barrel, you made this?
Box now, I can slide now. Where that little nigga go? He in the sky now. Mention my mama name, bitch, you can die now.
I heard these little niggas been sending threats.
Oh, y'all not
hiding
like
in the
that.
crib or playing crazy on the internet. Twitch like a guillotine, take off his neck. Go pick your brother up, bitch, he the one who got his shit split. Lil' bro told me keep it cool, bitch, I'll take it there. These niggas pussy got 2 lips behind that underwear. When it come to that murder shit, bitch, I don't play fair. Pop up at your mama crib, little bitch, I know you stay there. Please, little boy, don't play with me. Pop out with Buddha, he my shooter, he don't go for me. You run up on me, you gon' die, bitch, ain't no hoe in me. And you know that one nigga, your favorite rapper, a hoe to me. He play with them other niggas, that bitch don't not to play with me.
Yeah.
I'm out now, bitch, I'm hot now. I got G-locks now,
Yeah.
I can slide now. Where that little nigga go? He in the sky now. Bitch, tell my mama name that bitch, nigga gon' die now.
Music sounds fire, but why he plans to diss Durk, yo, I don't know, because Mike may be the devil of Chirac, but Durk has a 100 shooters around him. Not only that, He has the feds working for him. It's most probably for clout, as these Chicago rappers always diss for clout. With Von used to being his brother dissing him after death is just wrong, let the man rest in peace. That wraps it up for Big Mike, the devil of Chirac. And from what he has presented, Mike hasn't changed after all that time in jail, as he's still on the same savage shit, which is what I expected from him, to be honest. But the dissing Von part shows he really doesn't give a fuck, even if it is for clout and is not someone I would trust personally. Apart from that, it's been your boy, Micah! I'm out.